So Betsy DeVos has been called to defend her 2020 budget to Congress. Now, in that budget, of course, she makes a lot of cuts. One, eliminating the entire budget for the Special Olympics. Now, she said that in making this budget, she had to make some very difficult decisions. Very difficult decisions, of course. It was very hard to cut the Special Olympics, but this doesn't work. This doesn't work. I mean, what are you going to do, right? Except that you're not actually supposed to get a monetary benefit from the Special Olympics. It's actually supposed to help people and make them feel better. I know, and increase their quality of life. Apparently, that's something that Betsy DeVos doesn't believe we should do as a society. Now, as far as trying to prioritize what decisions that she's going to make, well, she, again, cut $18 million from the Special Olympics, but gave $60 million in funding to charter schools. Overall, her entire budget, though, would cut about $7 billion worth of programs. Now, let me give you a couple of these programs. She would cut $1.2 billion in 21st century community learning centers. So, gone. That program is eliminated. She would eliminate $29 million in funding from Arts and Education program, $840 million in federal supplemental educational opportunity grants, and $1.1 billion in student support and academic enrichment grants, among many other things. There was also help for, Alaskan natives and helping them get educated. So, now, just some of the programs that she wants to kill. As I said, $7 billion worth of cuts. Now, that did not sit well with Democrats, including Representative Barbara Lee. Now, Barbara Lee took a second opportunity to wreck DeVos over her budget, first taking her to task for those cuts in the Special Olympics program, and then for her failure to deliver paperwork proving that she is doing something about school segregation. Let's take a look.
Your cuts here specifically target students of color. It's unbelievable, low-income students. And I just have to say, Madam Secretary, you have zeroed out Special Olympics once again. I still can't understand why you would go after disabled children in your budget. You zero that out. It's appalling. I want to ask you a couple of things, which again reflects exactly what I just said. 2 years ago, I wrote into the language into the bill about school desegregation. The language asks for a report from your department in coordination with the Office of Civil Rights to submit to this committee detailing recommendations on how to address the adverse impacts of segregation, including Title VI school monitors, to ensure that every student has the opportunity for an equal education. Madam Secretary, this letter came, we wrote it June 7th. We've called, we've asked for this report, we've tried to reach you over and over again. We've never received a response. I wonder where this report is. Could you let us know when this report will be coming to the committee? It's about students of color, it's about school desegregation efforts.
Congresswoman, yes, I'm aware of that request and that report, and I know it's near completion, and I commit to you that we will get that to you as soon as feasible.
Madam Secretary, this is almost 2 years. We've been waiting. These kids deserve, and the school district deserve, an answer from our Secretary of Education. We can't wait 2 years to get a report on school desegregation from you. It shouldn't be that hard to do it.
Well, it shouldn't be that hard to do it. But, again, remember why Betsy DeVos is there in the first place. She is there to destroy public education. She is there to destroy help for students of color who actually need more funding, need more help, and disabled students. Again, she does not care about the disabled and does not care about people of color. She cares about straight, white, Christian families with money. That's the whole point. Again, shifting $60 million towards charter schools, to which, of course, charter schools, at least in Michigan, are unregulated and can teach religious fundamentalism. That's what this is. Now, Lee says, oh, no, I don't understand why you would do that to disabled people. Again, I just told you why. She hates those people. And she doesn't think that we should waste our resources on them. or again, wants charity. Now, that's the thing. A lot of these right wingers will be like, well, let's just have the private sector take over. We'll have charities and people will end up getting taken care of. That's not what happens. Charity, for one, never has enough. And for two, basically the end result of Betsy DeVos's, I guess, vision for the education system in America is the wealthy go to school, they get educated, while poor people either do not get educated or they get indoctrinated in their schools into more religion and don't actually get a real education. That's her plan, because that's who Betsy DeVos is. She was never there to help people, always there to destroy this system and to replace it with something that, I guess in her eyes, is akin to what God wants her to do. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know how I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.